Welcome. Welcome all to the Boulder Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship and this quiet service on the second day of Christmas, December 26, 2021. We are Zoom only this morning, except for a few friends lending moral support here in the new sanctuary. Our goal today is to connect all our hearts together in this time of transition from one year to the next, in a service of music, poetry, and meditation. To keep things simple, we won't have joys and concerns this morning, but know that help, love, and empathy are always close at hand in this fellowship. Our fellowship is committed to making the world a more just and loving place. This morning, we prepare for that work by quieting our own minds and connecting our hearts together. You are welcome here today. In all the beauty of languages, cultures, skin tones, shapes, and sizes, you are welcome here. In all the ways you express and experience gender, you are welcome here. In the beauty that is who you love and how you love, you are welcome here. In all the ways you make your living and the places you are from, you are welcome here. Christian, pagan, humanist, Jew, Buddhist, Muslim, mystic, you, with all the traditions that inform your spiritual life, you are welcome here today. No matter how long you are away, nor how soon you will return, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you are welcome here. You are invited to join us with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands. You are welcome, most welcome here today. On a normal Sunday, if there is such a thing anymore, we welcome newcomers and invite you to introduce yourselves. Today, to keep things simple and quiet, we hope it's enough for you to know that you are most welcome here always. And now we'll light the chalice. David will light the chalice. If you have a chalice at home, you can light it with David as he lights our fellowship chalice. Please say the words along with me. I'll go slowly. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. And now the second bowl to draw us together deeper into this present moment. We'll begin with several poems that invite us to breathe and to consider that breathing a sacred act. The words will be in the chat if you wish to follow along. The first one is by Muhammad Hafiz, a much-loved Persian poet from the 19th century. Cloak yourself in 1,000 ways. Still I shall know you, my beloved. Veil yourself with every enchantment, and yet I shall feel you. Presence most dear, close and intimate, I shall salute you in the springing of the cypresses, and in the sheen of the lakes, and the laughter of the fountains. I shall surely see you in tumbling clouds, in brightly embroidered meadows. Oh, beloved presence, more beautiful than all the stars together. I trace your face in ivy that climbs, in clusters of grapes, in morning flaming the mountains, in the clear arch of sky. You gladden the whole world and make every heart great. You are the breathing of the world.
I find myself overflowing with love and gratitude this morning to be part of this service. This song, the Meditation on Breathing, number 1009 in the hymnal, is written by one of my most beloved and dear friends in all the world, Sarah Dan Jones. And if you heard Reverend Lydia's Christmas reflection, she talked about hope that is born of real pain and real struggle. And what not everybody knows about the meditation on breathing is that it came from Sarah Dan's heart in response to the events of September 11th, 2001. So this beautiful sacred gift that she's given to us came from doubt, came from fear, came from pain, and gifts us with this reminder of sacred breath always with us. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe
The Meadow, by our very own Lucy Hannah Williams. In the meadow this autumn morning, I watched the frost on each blade of grass. At first, like white lace, then, as sunlight touches the meadow, like silver filigree, transforming to iridescent droplets, each silently gliding down its blade of grass to nourish the earth. As the sun's warmth grows, moisture rises in swirling clouds of mist like smoke. Condensation on my breath, too, becomes visible. We are breathing together, the meadow and I, conspiring. The grasses, pines, and aspen, the squirrels and chipmunks, the bugs and birds, the rivers and rocks, and all our relations. We are conspiring. We are co-conspirators. Breathing in, breathing out. Although the moments of visible breath are fleeting, our breathing together is constant in sunlight and starlight. Through eons, we breathe. May we honor this bond of constancy. May we humans, caught in a crisis of our own making, speak for all our silent co-conspirators, for all our relations unto our dying breaths. May it be so.
Oh. I know that not all of us pray, but all of us breathe, and all of us feel the sacred earth beneath our feet. This next poem is by Joy Harjo, our first Native American poet laureate. Eagle Poem.
I'd like to begin my reflection with this poem by Reverend Teresa Soto. Bring your broken hallelujah here. Bring the large one that is beyond repair. Bring the small one that's too soft to share. Bring your broken hallelujah here. I know that people have told you that before you can give, you have to get yourself together. They overstated the value of perfection by a lot, or they forgot. You are the gift. We all bring some broken things, songs and dreams and long-lost hopes. But here and together, we reach within. As a community, we begin again. And from the pieces, we will build something new. There is work that only you can do. We wait for you. Each of us is a gift. When we join this fellowship, we're invited to open our hearts and our willing hands to share our gifts, to work together for the benefit of this fellowship. We have so much to celebrate in the beautiful additions and renovation of our building and our beautiful new trees and plants, as we're tentatively beginning to share the joy of being able to gather in person. At the same time, we find ourselves in the midst of yet another surging mutation of the coronavirus that in just 2 years has claimed an average of 1,100 lives per day in the U.S., and more than 7,300 lives per day worldwide. It was pounded into me from birth that nothing happens unless you make it happen. But every day of this pandemic continues to prove to me just how little I am in control. So, we continue on, this resilient bunch that we are, maintaining social distancing, wearing masks in public, keeping up on our vaccinations, and being tested if we suspect exposure. As you may have seen in Connections Weekly, Governor Polis has made at-home COVID tests available to all Colorado families for free. Don will put a link into the chat for you to follow and sign up. These are precious days between Christmas and New Year's, which have always meant for me a time for a well-deserved break. And yet, how am I to maintain a relaxed and celebratory state of mind just 10 days before the first anniversary of mob violence and deadly attack on our nation's capital, in a country that averages over 50 people per day dead from gun violence? For myself, I try to start my day with a time of prayer or meditation, and I get outside for a walk, for some exercise in the sun. For Lafayette residents, have you noticed the increased flocks of geese flying over our town this fall? Northwest of our home on East Baseline is Rothman Open Space, immediately east of which are several acres of corn, apparently grown and left in the field by a local farmer for fall and winter feeding of Canadian geese. On a walk late in the day last weekend, in a matter of less than 15 minutes, Barbara and I witnessed several thousand geese fly in from the west and south to descend on these several acres of corn. One of the most awesome, magnificent spectacles we've ever witnessed in our lives. This in the midst of paleontological studies that we are in the middle of the sixth mass extinction, where 3/4 of all animal species on Earth could be extinct within 300 years. At the same time, I recognize what human intervention can mean on behalf of conservation of our fellow animals on this planet. Unexpectedly, the jaguar population of Mexico grew by 20% between 2010 and 2018. Siberian tiger footprints have been seen in the Sakha Republic in Russia for the first time in 50 years. And in Rwanda, there now exists a healthy population of 600 of the great silverback gorilla, our not-so-distant cousins. What is a question you are holding as you cross the threshold from this year to the time ahead? Mine are, how do I love my neighbor? What does it mean to be of service? Will I survive? Will our country survive? Will I cycle back to depression? I understand that many of my questions are unanswerable, but I've realized the importance of entering the space of silence daily, to be still and know. earth-centered traditions within Unitarian Universalism call us to celebrate the sacred circle of life and instruct us to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. Here at the end of this calendar year and the beginning of yet another yearly cycle, I have a guided meditation to share. I invite you to become comfortable in your chair and feel the weight of your body as it settles into your chair. Plant your feet firmly in front of you and feel gravity in your connection to the earth below. Rest your hands comfortably in your lap and close your eyes or lower your gaze. First, let's quiet our minds by taking some deep breaths. Relax your shoulders, your neck. For our first in-breath, imagine inhaling love. Allow this love to circulate through your body. And imagine that this energy heals all that ails you. Abide for a moment in the feeling of love, and on an out-breath, return this love to your community. Imagine that each person in this virtual circle can partake of love, this healing energy. On a next in-breath, imagine inhaling joy and allow joy to circulate through your body. And imagine that this energy delights you and lessens your burdens. Abide for a moment in the feeling of joy, and on an out-breath, return this joy to your community. Imagine that each person in this circle can partake of this same joy, and that each person is delighted by this gift of joy. On an in-breath, inhale peace. Allow peace to circulate through your body, and imagine that this energy quiets your soul. Abide for a moment in the feeling of peace, and on an out-breath, return this sense of peace to your community. Imagine that each person in this circle can partake of peace, and that each person is delighted to receive this gift from you. On a next in-breath, inhale equanimity. Allow equanimity to circulate through your body, and imagine that this energy calms your mind of any worries. Abide for a moment in the feeling of equanimity, and on an out-breath, return this sense of equanimity to your community. Imagine that each person in this circle can partake of equanimity, and that each person is delighted to receive this gift from you. Thank you to everyone. When you're ready, please return as you are comfortable to this glorious winter morning.
I hope we're getting peaceful. David's powerful experience with wild geese reminds me of one I had last year. I wrote a poem about it called Messengers. Tense morning on this icy Wyoming highway, inching along at -7 degrees Fahrenheit. My destination, 300 anxious miles away. Faint movement in the patchy white sky draws my eye up from the road to see long chevrons of Canadian geese high up in the sub-zero air, flying south, away from this frozen place to green grass and open water. As I watch them stitching up the torn clouds, I feel my chest soften. What do they make of this early winter scene spread out below them? Do the white prairie hills and wandering creek beds align with the map and compass in their ancient gathered mind? Does their astonishing migration bring them joy? These miraculous creatures, beautiful in flight, like prayer flags untethered and sent to heaven by a messenger wind, tell us there will be beauty, such mysterious beauty in this harsh, broken world. Now let's travel across several seasons in search of joy. This is a poem called Winter Solstice by Rebecca Parker. You've heard things from her before. Perhaps for a moment, the keyboards will stop clicking. The wheels will stop rolling. The computers desist from computing, and a hush will fall over the city. For an instant, in the stillness, the chiming of the celestial spheres will be heard as Earth hangs poised in crystalline darkness, then gracefully tilts. Let there be a season when holiness is heard and the splendor of living is revealed. Stunned to stillness by beauty, we remember who we are and why we are here. There are inexplicable mysteries. We are not alone. In the universe, there moves a wild one whose gestures alter the earth's axis toward love. In the immense darkness, everything spins with joy. The cosmos enfolds us. We are caught in a web of stars, cradled in a swaying embrace, rocked by the holy night, babes in the universe. Let this be the time we awaken to life, yes, like spring wakens in the moment of winter solstice. Now the service is drawing to a close. Thank you for your presence. Thank you, Tad and Emily, for your soulful music. Thank you, David, for all your contributions. Thank you, Don, for the big job of Zoom hosting and pasting all that poetry into the chat. Now we'll extinguish our chalice. You may say the words along with me. We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, nor the energy of action. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. Let us go in peace, knowing joy is always near if we look for it,